I'm Reverend Natalie Jean, and I wanted to talk about the transitioning spirit. Transitioning spirit is something that, even though you're a minister, even though you're into spirituality, can be a difficult thing to comprehend at the time that you learn a friend has passed on. This past week, that happened to me. I was able to see the person in the hospital, although the person was unresponsive. I was able to spend some time with that friend. However, it was very hard to take because it was unexpected. I didn't know how, quote unquote, sick she was. So it was very disheartening to know that the person has passed on. And every time I think about it, I'm always like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. But in essence, during this process, I wanted to go through what I needed to go through in the human experience. And then I decided that I would return back to my principles. I know the principles in regards to a transitioning spirit. I know that when it's your time, it's your time. That, you're not going to, you're leaving your body, but you're going to continue to do your work somewhere else. You're going to continue to do your work in a wonderful, beautiful place on the right hand of God. My friend, she had wonderful goals that she wanted to do. So, a lot of people are shocked by that. They're like, oh my gosh, she wanted to do so many things. But what I've realized is that my friend can still do those things. She may reincarnate. She may do them through somebody else. And now she's an angel. She's an angel to guide us. She's an angel to move us through anything that we're moving through. She may talk to us. I can talk to her whenever I want to. So these are the ideas that I am holding on to and going through my process. I'm not a person that likes funerals. I don't know anybody that does. And I always say that, oh, I'm never going to go to this person's funeral. Well, I went to my friend's funeral this past Saturday, which was a beautiful, beautiful funeral. There was a singer that, oh my God, every time he sang, I cried because it was so moving and so touching. And I definitely know that she loved that. There were many people there. She used to work for the Library of Congress. And she was with the Democratic Party. And some people from her church were there as well. It was beautiful, beautiful and moving. What I see, though, in retrospect, one of the things that you can always tell is you can tell how the person was loved and those that really truly cared about her because the amount of people that supported her. I was saddened by the fact that there were certain people that were not there that should have been there. And a lot of people say, you cannot judge them. Maybe they had this, they had that. But Carla was my friend was extremely devoted to some of these people. And, I'm just holding the light. I'm holding the light. God is always showing me different things. And what I've learned through this process is that if there is something that you want to do in your lifetime, don't hold on to it. Don't say you'll get to it at a later date. One of the things is that at my friend's funeral, the author Van Zant, Leanne Van Zant was there, and she was a really good friend with my friend, and she said, she had just come back from Chicago doing taping, I guess, Oprah's show. She has a show on OWN, and she said that when she got back, she was going to call Carla, see how she was doing, but she said she was going to give her some time and call her on Tuesday. And it just so happened that that's the day my friend made her transition. And so what I learned from these things also is that, what? If there's something, you have an inkling to call somebody, you have an inkling to do something, you should do it. You should definitely do it. You should call that person. You should do that thing you need to do. Don't hold off for another day. That is called procrastination. And we all do it. I do it sometimes because I have so much on my plate. But we in turn have to focus on our goals, our missions, and not so much as focusing on somebody else's thing that they're trying to do. 9 times out of 10, when you're in spirituality, that's the first thing that comes to mind. You want to help others. You want to help others in every way possible. And what tends to happen is that you tend to forget about yourself, tend to forget about the things you need to do in your life, the things that will move your life, the things that will make it easier for you to do many things, many aspects of your life. And in truth, God is all, we are everything that we need to be. We don't have to always listen to other people. I mean, you can listen to your minister preach, and then you have to make your own discernment about how you're going to live your life, how you're going to move your life, how you're going to do many different things. This is what we're supposed to be doing. We cannot depend on other people to move our lives. It's just not right. If you go to many classes, you're trying to understand different things in this spiritual world, that's okay. You're going to heed their advice, but make sure that what you're doing in your life, you're doing it because it's not because somebody has suggested it to you, but because it's your passion, it's your love. You know that it's going to help somebody else. There are many things that I have learned through my friend's passing. I mean, she was very outspoken, and so am I. So we had that in common. But even though I have a lot of things on my plate, I'm going to pursue every single last one of them because this is what I am here for. This is what I am here for, and I want to be an example of all the things that you can do as a child of God if you just believe and you have faith. Even for myself, there are certain things that are going on in my life, but you know what? I hold on to God. I'm like, it's God's plan. I'm heeding God's word. I'm heeding God's plan. I'm going to do my best to be the best in the sense in spirituality, not to be the best above anybody else, because I think we are all on equal footing. God is great, and so are you and I. And the thing, it's interesting with my friend Carla. She would always talk to me about the people she thought that didn't like her. And you know what? She said, basically, she cannot be surrounded by that negativity. She never wanted to surround herself by negativity. She surrounded herself by people that loved her, that she loved, that endorsed who she was, that embraced who she was. And you know what? That is a fine example of how we should live. If you know that there's somebody in your life that is negative around you every single moment of the day, you need to move that person out of your life, or you need to move yourself away from that person, because you don't need that. You don't need that in your life when you're trying to do wonderful things and all they have to do is or say something negative. Because you are the light that God has put on this earth to do away with any type of darkness. You are here to do grand things. This year I plan to run a half marathon, and my goal next year is to do a full marathon. And I know that I can do it. Every time I step out into the road or on the treadmill or whatever, I said, okay, God, let's do it. It's you and I. We're going to pursue this. We're going to do it, and we're going to be great. I hold my hand in the Lord. I think of the Lord. And there's nothing else I can do about that except to be true to who I am, to be true of the things that I want to do. It's funny. Now when I'm deciding to do something, I don't go to people and ask them, should I do this? I listen to myself. I'll go back and forth with it. I'll sit with God. I'll meditate. I'll say, okay, is this the final answer? And I'll get messages in my dreams. And that's how I get my answers. Now, if it's more of a spiritual thing and I need to understand some kind of dichotomy in the Bible or something else, I will go to somebody that's more prolific in it, that understands it better, so that I can gain a greener aspect. But sometimes I will also say, okay, God, help me to understand this passage. Help me to understand this writing. And so, in our lifetime, we are here to help one another. We are here to love one another. We are here to move one another in positive directions. And, in this lifetime, what I've encountered is that, I've been supportive to many different organizations, many different people over the last couple of years. And what I've noticed is that some of these people have not in turn been as supportive. But yet, I know that they were supposed to be in my life because they've taught me many wonderful and beautiful things. And that I should not hold on to the fact that they don't support. They have done their work, they have signed their contract, they've fulfilled their contract. So, you know what? I stay away from some of these people and I just continue my work and I endorse other people, I support other people, I work with other people. Now, the people that have helped me and they're not in my life, I don't have anything against them. I support them through God in all things and know that they are well, whole, perfect, and complete. That nothing can bind them, that there will always be in a perfect light. But I focus on me, and I focus on those that support me. I focus on those that need my support and help them at every moment that I can. So go out there and do your thing. Do your thing. Don't let anybody stop you from being who you are. Namaste. Amen.